ASN head?
Yeah, Q underscore 9K underscore ASN underscore head. Because this one is called row. Right, so we have the ASN.
Well, we could add columns to that report too. Remember you said yesterday, right?
Oh, that's the piece of right. Once the report is there, to change things is literally 10 to 15 minutes. Unless you come with something really old.
Square. Yeah, no, I'm just talking units, correct.
So remember we had a fairly interesting discussion yesterday about unique box IDs and everything and so on, right? For the purpose of this, I made it order number, a purchase order number and a running number, right? So that you could have multiple SKUs in one box. Right? I don't want to get in it. For us, for argument's sake, it's just a unique number. Right? It has some information on it. Right? It tells you the purchase order, the row number, and so on, right? Which is related. But you could have many of the idea here is that for any ASN, you can have many boxes, and you could have multiple SKUs in the same box if you wanted to. That doesn't matter anymore. Right? So even these two first fields could be the same, but then this one will be different. Right? You can have the same SKU in 2 boxes or in 3 boxes if you order a lot. Yeah.
Well, we have pullable POs. What did we say with that?
So there is a rules around this, right? That you can have, and I don't remember them, but whatever it is, because the system here really doesn't care.
Right.
It cares about the 3 scenarios that that are documented. It's one-to-one, right? One ASN, one PO. It is several ASN, one PO. And I'm not sure what the last one. The only limitation we impose is that one ASN has to be shipped one way, right? You can't have one ASN and ship it air and boat because it would defeat the purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically have one carrier, bill rating number.
Exactly, per ASN, right? At some point, I'm going to say,
Really?
when
Haven't you need
at any given time,
We're going to.
say,
No.
my promise delivery date,
All that.
right?
No, this girl died at home. She went home from work and just died. The son found her the next morning. He's older kid. And she was dead on the floor. They tested her, autopsied her, and she was in a heart attack. How old? Heart attack was about 54.
When I was working in Boston, we had a company house party.
Sure. At some point, I'm going to say, well, when am I actually going to ship this? So at any given time, say my promised delivery date, right? In theory, this is a Microsoft issue. So I'm using Microsoft Internet Explorer 9 for some reason. If you use version 8, it works. You would just basically click the date, bam. Now the system updates, and this delivery date and everything, right, starts to get really important later on when we calculate the indices. When they do that, when they actually ship it out the door, the whole thing goes in transit, right? And now it's in transit, right? Going to be received to inventory a few days ago.
before the goods go in transit though, didn't we have to do an ASN or not?
Sorry?
In the portal. Do you need to do an ASN in the portal or not?
So because we don't have, we said the ASN would come in manually or they would type it in manually, right? How it comes in doesn't really matter. Right? The supplier could go in and make an ASN, right? I have already, because of the test, I've already made an ASN for it. Right? Because
Okay.
I don't think we will have time to train the suppliers for this first time.
No, I know, but when Minnie does it with her crew,
She would do it in Jeeves.
she will put the ASN in Jeeves, not in the portal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Different steps, but the
Has
same.
100 boxes no matter what Jeeves says, right?
Right, they could be totally wrong boxes from a different shipment, but you don't know that at that point.
I agree.
Because he's coming with a bill, lady, it's gonna have, it could have multiple shipments, right? I mean, generally with air freight, they'll scan all the terminals, bring multiple carriers, multiple, right? Probably won't happen, well, it could happen with LCL. But, it's a possibility it comes with multiple POs, so you don't wanna be there sorting and holding up the job.
Come in with this paper, he said, I'm sending you $100.
Right.
He's got $100.
But is there an area that we could say, all right, pull up airway bill 875, 876, and 877. And there, it would tell you 100 boxes for this airway bill, 100 for that. And then you just sign off that one, and under it, it has all the stuff.
Yeah, we should go fill up the ASN.
Uh-huh.
Hey, is that what you want to do? And you wouldn't do it on the handheld in this case?
I don't know. What I mean, I don't know. I generally have done it at a terminal. In other words, you sign off,
Yeah.
you take those delivery orders to a desk somewhere,
Okay.
open up the system, and then you check them off as delivered to warehouse.
Because he's gonna check and he's gonna have the order number, or they will be on the boxes, or
Yeah, it's got the paperwork.
Right.
The paperwork can say on it.
The paperwork will have packing lists with it. It will
Okay.
have all that detail.
it'll be a breeze for us to pull up the ASN on the handheld in this case. You have to manually type it in. You have nothing to scan.
Right.
Right.
And then
That's
the
it.
PO number.
Sure. Right, and it's going to tell you this PO has X number of ASNs, and
Right. So you don't want to be able to type in the PO number, I want to be able to type in the ASN number.
sure, either or is going to be fine. If you type in the ASN number, obviously you can get a reply and says it's 4 POs.
Right.
Right.
And it should tell you how many parts. Right. On that
Yeah,
ASN.
sure. You only have to tell you so many POs, so many boxes in total.
Right. That's the idea, right? The guy comes in, you can paperwork, you look at it, you go, the ASN gives you this paperwork. I enter in the ASN number, it tells you you got 4 POs. 52
That's a
boxes.
good point. Will the ASN number travel on all the documents throughout the shipment? So it's on the paperwork or not?
You would wish that it did, but
That's
First
what
order.
I'm
in
saying.
reality, I don't think so.
It-
And everything I'm showing you here is just so that you can understand that there are things happening behind the scenes. You will never have to worry about this until the shit hits the fan and you call me and say it doesn't work and I ask you to look at things. Right? Next thing, we'll generate a pick list. Right, so we've done a filter, we've talked about this so many times. Right, I'm going to create the pick list.
Matt, can we stop there for a second? What about the allocation from Edwin? In other words, is there a trigger that has to occur before we do this by Edwin?
Well, you have to get your
Well, you're not going to get a pick.
Right.
You gotta have your transfers or the order pool, otherwise you can't filter these.
Right,
So Edwin's
It's not
got,
the first.
so Edwin's got to drop.
right. The work, right?
Right,
Yeah,
so-
that's right.
Yeah.
So the order's already in our queue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if the order pool is empty,
Anything. The reason is it's stuck in receiving. So it's not allocatable, right? So by definition, you can see that that works.
Right.
Right. So this means I can't continue to show you the picking like I want it to because the system is actually doing the right things
Right.
and it's not allowing me to allocate from receiving,
Yeah.
right? Which is fine, right? It's annoying, but that means I have some work.
But let me, okay, with that said though, that's a good point. Would, and I'll say Edwin, be able to allocate if it's in a non-allocatable area? He would, right? Like if the goods come in.
No,
He
no,
can't.
no.
They won't show it as available goods yet. For it to allocate.
He knows the goods is there, but
But
he
he
can't
can't do
touch it.
anything.
So what happens when you have a box of frames that can't be read well? You have to go in and scan each one of them.
You have to do it, yes. Because, and I'm going to make it because it fucking pisses me off. Right? That these people that deal with RPAC, right, which is Jenny and Brandy and whoever does it, right, I've told them exactly which tags to use, follow, nothing happens, right? And if they would worry, they would put the correct damn tag on the correct goods, so we wouldn't be in the heap of shit that we are. But they do nothing,
So you have
right?
to
And
be
they
aware
should
of
all
it.
be fired for it. I'm dead
I
serious about
agree.
that. It's ridiculous. It's been weeks since I told them. Right? I am dead serious.
You don't
It's
know what it
ridiculous.
does to a warehouse, that kind of bullshit.
It is really is ridiculous. And the bin and the SKU. Now, and here is a question that I have. How are you going to tell the system, no matter where it is, that you're opening a box, that you are breaking the box? Right? How are we going to do that?
What happens when we do less case? It'll always send you to pick case,
Eaches are
right? Eaches are in
Eaches
pick
are in
case.
a big face.
Sure.
So that's the
So
only place, right?
my
You should
thing
break
is,
the box.
yeah. So, but when we do it, I have to delete the
Right.
box ID
Right.
from those EPCs. So we
Right.
have to find a trigger point.
Yeah, anything in a big face, you lose your box ID right away.
Wait, let's think for a second because,
Even if you put a full box in a big face.
no, but I'm
right?
thinking quick pick, right?
Big face.
No, I know, but quick
That's not-
pick,
that's not quick
no, but quick pick, we want to pick
pick. Oh,
eaches in.
you're eaches.
And I go pick that order. Next I can do store number 1.
Sure.
And I want to go into that empty box to get more goods. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
As far as you're concerned now,
Now it's destroyed, right?
so you have a. Let's say the box takes 100.
Right.
You break the box. Now you have 100 singles there in quick pick, and you
Right.
can just pick from there.
Oh,
wherever
okay,
you want.
okay, that's good then.
Because if you look at how the system interprets this, it says you have the box and you have the bin.
Uh-huh.
Just because you take away the box doesn't take away the bin.
Bin.
It just means you cannot now collectively move
Right.
these things as a
Right.
box
Yeah.
because the box is gone.
Oh,
Right.
Okay, good.
Got it.
Right?
Good.
Have you told them the type of tag?
Those input enter status here. Right? You have where it's going to. In this case, it was heaven. So Kevin is playing around with territory from his payload stuff. It has to be load based, that means sequentially and everything, right? So normally when it's entered, right, there is a, we go in and we approve the purchase order. Someone approves it. This point, right, it's nothing to do with the portal yet, because we haven't done this one. Right. At some point, someone is going to print the purchase order and put one of the box down. Because there's so many people playing in the system, it's really annoying.
The folder is edit, the change mode,
Yeah.
open. Thank you.
But it goes into order state. Right? When we release it, it goes into order.
Okay.
Now the portal kicks in.
When you does it download it to the portal or?
It's online.
Okay.
The first thing I have to do is actually set up a user account in the portal for this user. So I apologize.
Oh, you have to.
So
set
I'm
that
gonna
make it
have to
up
be the supplier, right? I can't
I don't
leave
know.
this one here.
From a DC standpoint, it doesn't matter.
You only care.
Logistics
It's
might
going to
be
be
the.
calculated off of whatever rate method you pick. but-
I'm looking at the
Yeah,
last column.
because if someone sees like,
I'm looking at the last column. I'm looking at it in DC data.
yeah, but you want to take a look and see if it's like something weird that.
No, I'm not editing, no. No, I don't edit reports.
Yeah.
I'm not editing reports. This thing's gonna be massive. You're gonna be looking at your NDC dates, you're looking at summaries, and all it's doing is telling you how many people, what your work volume is gonna be, right?
Yeah, I guess if there is a China DC, because the lead time is so much shorter, it gives you a little bit of an idea.
China DC.
Yeah, US DC I agree.
Right, I'm only looking at US right
I
now.
understand.
you know what I
I'm
mean?
just saying But maybe I shouldn't delete it, right? You can just
Okay.
look at theory. This is a Microsoft issue. So I'm using Microsoft Internet Explorer 9 for some reason. If you use version 8, it works. You would just basically click the date, bam. Now the system updates, and this delivery date and everything, right, starts to get really important later on when we calculate the indices. When they do that, when they actually ship it out the door, the whole
We just scan it?
Yeah, scan.
that's just a variable market. Okay, we'll fix that. The idea is that it gets owned by the handheld.
Right.
We just, because everything is under such stress, we just probably reverse the variable. It's going to be owned by that one. Tells you where to put it, right? And you go there, and then, yeah, exactly. And then you move the box. You press the move box.
Now you're recording using the voice. We got everything to do.
Even the curse words.
So I could like play this 5 times and probably remember it. You know what I mean?
You,
Okay, thanks. See you.
the era.
No.
As a sewing. I think,
I could be in this room because of that stupid thing. This is why we hired advanced mobile in the warehouse. Right? So it's very, very difficult.
are you having scan problems? Are you having
wireless
problems?
problems? Because this door and there's steel in the doors.
Uh-huh.
Right? And of course, if you have a grid, it becomes a Faraday's cage.
Uh-huh.
And Michael Friedman could explain that to you, what that exactly. But it blocks all signals.
But let me ask you one thing. Did you have to put an antenna up? You have an antenna over?
The other thing is, Matt, if you go into the bins, I did put the description, so FP should say forward pick.
Then why did it direct us to forward pick and not?
No, because I thought
Because
forward
he
pick
thought-
was quick.
Oh,
I didn't read through the whole
He didn't read
thing.
my, he didn't read
I'll
my,
just
Ah,
reverse
okay.
it.
he didn't read my
Very
bid
good.
descriptions, that's all.
Thing goes in transit. Right? And now, it's in transit, right? Going to be received to inventory a few days ago, or the time to it.
Before the goods go in transit, though, didn't we have to do an ASM or not?
Sorry?
In the portal. You need to do an ASM in the portal or not?
So because we don't have we said the ASN would come in manually or they would type it in manually, right? How it comes in doesn't really matter. The supplier could go in and make an ASN, right? I have already, because of the test, I have already made an ASN for it. Right? Because
Okay.
I don't think we will have time to train the suppliers for this first time.
No, I know, but when Mindy does it with her crew,
She will do it in Jeeves.
she will put the ASN in Jeeves, not in the portal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Different steps, but the same. I know, but when Mindy does it with her crew,
She will do it in Jeeves.
she will put the ASN in Jeeves, not in the portal. Okay.
So
Different steps, but the